Hello and welcome to another Sunday podcast, Timeline Britain. Going to talk about various things that have happened over various decades, 50s, 60s, 70s. This morning is later in the day now, but this morning it was 16 degrees at 6 o'clock, which is 60 Fahrenheit, 88% humidity, 1010 millibars, 1010 millibars, and the wind, a very slight breeze from the west, which is rather nice. I hope you're well, been looking after yourselves, enjoying the summer. It's a funny old summer here in Britain. Won't go on too much about the weather, but one minute there's rain, next minute there's heat wave. It's crazy, can't keep up with it. Now, what's all this timeline thing about? I didn't know this. Back in 1952, Britain tested an atom bomb in the Montebello Islands. I've never heard of that. Off the coast of Western Australia. I didn't know we'd set off an atom bomb there. Of course, I was only 1 year old in 52, but I've never heard of it later on either. So we tested an atom bomb. That's not good, is it? All these bombs. 4,000 people died. This is 52. In London's Great Smog. Isn't that awful? It was far as Rob in Australia. Hi, you emailed me about this. You said something about they did away with the trams and burnt all the trams. I don't remember that. Mind you, I suppose, as I've said, I was young, but I thought I would have heard about it later. The trams were brilliant, weren't they? The electric trams. They were absolutely brilliant. What caused the smog? Because I've seen a couple of documentaries about this. We had a very, very cold spell. Was it December, February, whenever it was? Very cold spell. Everyone's got coal fires at home. They're all burning like mad. The air was very still. And the cloud level was low or something, so it kept it all in. There was no wind. Normally, all the smoke from people's chimneys, it's all blown all over the city and blown out of the city. But there was no wind at all. It was very still. So the smoke from all the coal fires couldn't go anywhere. It just hung. Bit like the 60s when you go into a bar. Here we go, we're back into pubs again. In the 60s, you go into a bar and the smoke was all hanging just below the ceiling like a blue haze of smoke. That's how it was in 52, from what I've understood from the documentaries that I've seen. The smoke came out of the chimneys and just hung there and just sort of fell down into the streets. It was the sulphur, thick yellow smoke, sulphur. And it killed people. Well, as it says, in 1952, 4,000 people died. Also in 1952, King George VI died. He was the king throughout the war years. And Elizabeth, who we know well, of course, his eldest daughter, she became Queen Elizabeth II. Our longest reigning queen, longest reigning monarch, as far as I know. Yes, she is, isn't she? I've heard that somewhere, unless I've got that wrong. She was good. I liked the Queen. I liked Elizabeth. She was brilliant. I know a lot of people don't like the monarchy and all that stuff. Well, if you don't like it, go away. I think the monarchy is good. You get one set of people saying, oh, they cost us millions a year. You get another set of people saying they bring in millions a year because people come from all over the world to watch the changing of the guard and all this pomp and ceremony stuff. I like it, but there we are. Not everyone does, so whatever. Whatever rocks your boat. Not quite sure where that saying came from. What do you mean, whatever rocks your boat? Crazy. What else have we got here? In 53, Ian Fleming published the first James Bond book, Casino Royale. Now, I've never been into the Bond films. Have you? I used to like one or two. I had to go to the pictures, the cinema, years ago to see one or two, but I don't know. It's not something that I like. Trish loves the Bond films, and so does her mum. Her dad used to as well. Also in 53, Edmund Hillary. Oh, he was a New Zealander. I didn't know that. What did he do? He reached the summit of Everest. These days, people seem to just stroll up to the top of Everest, don't they? They take their cameras and flags and sort of have a picnic up there. I don't quite know. And I've got a news flash now. I won't tell you what that is. Probably something dreadful. Back then, Everest was a real feat to climb. It was a real achievement. But now it seems that all sorts of people just stroll up to the summit and have a look round. 1950, C.S. Lewis published The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe. 1950, I thought it was later than that. Still, what do I know? I tell you what, my general knowledge is appalling. It really is appalling. 1951, the year I was born, that was a good year, wasn't it? Two members of a Soviet spy ring, Donald McLean and Guy Burgess, escaped to Moscow. They infiltrated the intelligence system in Britain and passed information to the Soviets during the Second World War and the start of the Cold War. I don't know why my general knowledge is no good. Tricia knows everything. She really does. Stuff comes up on the telly and I'll say, what's that? And she tells me all about it. I don't know. 1954. Oh, this is funny. Medical student Roger Bannister ran a mile in under 4 minutes. I'll tell you later, but the other day I walked a mile. It took me half an hour. I couldn't run half an hour to do 1 mile, and he did 1 mile in under 4 minutes. I don't know. Yeah, well, he was younger than me. I'm old now, aren't I? 1955. Television with adverts began. The first commercial channel was ITV, independent television. I remember that. I used to love the adverts. Back then, they were good. I remember looking forward to the adverts coming on. Now, the adverts come on, well, you can go out and have a meal. You can book up at a local restaurant, go and have your meal, few drinks, get back, sit in front of the telly, and the adverts will still be on, especially that daft one about the mattress. It goes on and on. It's longer than the programme you're watching. 1955. Ruth Ellis was the last woman to be hanged in Britain. Her execution played a major part in the movement to abolish the death penalty. That's not good. Again, there are two schools of thought about the death penalty, capital punishment, aren't there? One lot says bring back the death penalty is a deterrent, and the other lot say, well, no, you can't kill people, and what if you make a mistake? Mistakes have been made, haven't they? Dodie Smith published 101 Dalmatians in 1956. Also in 56, Britain's first nuclear power station at Windscale. Quite a lot happened in the 50s. I like the 60s, as you know. Actually, is this boring? Are you bored? This isn't very good, is it? The first postcodes introduced by the post office in Norwich, 1959. Is that boring? Michael Bond published A Bear Called Paddington, 1958. Of course, most of you out there listening to this, you weren't even born then, were you? Let's have a break from the timeline and move on to something else for a minute. Now, this you will either find very interesting or very boring. I expect you find the whole of the podcast episodes, all of them, either very interesting or very boring. Let's move on for a minute and have a break. I did say that I'd tell you this Sunday why I was so looking forward to Friday. On Monday, we went to Butlins. On Friday, we came home from Butlins. That's why I was looking forward to it. Butlins, Bognor. Friday, we came home. Fantastic. It was actually a good trip. I enjoyed it. We all enjoyed it. It's Tricia, myself, number 2 daughter, and her son, our grandson, who's 8. It was a good week. I've made some recordings for you. I hope you don't find it too boring. If you do, whiz through. I said that once before, didn't I? It's now Friday, by the way, so we're back. And the weather is incredible. Blue sky, under the patio roof, it's 35. How about that, 35? What's that in Fahrenheit? I don't know. I can't look it up at the moment, but you can do that. 35 degrees, wonderful weather, absolutely marvellous. So have a listen to the outside broadcast, as I call it. See what you think of it anyway. This is Bognor Regis, West Sussex, where Butlins is, of course. We've arrived at Butlins, and last night we went, that noise in the background, that's kids with lasers shooting each other. It's very windy here. Last night we went to this venue. We're waiting for the entertainment to come and start on the stage. The place was packed. We got a table, we got our drinks, and there was a lady on the tannoy saying, everyone out, evacuate the building, everyone go to the left, out of the doors. There's a flood. There was a massive rainstorm, and what happened was the roof leaked. Not just leaked, there was a waterfall coming into the venue. The ceiling, part of the ceiling came down, so we all had to get out. So we thought we'd go back to the hotel room, But we couldn't get there because the pathways and the little roads, they were a lake. There was just lakes everywhere. Torrential rain. We eventually got back, but it was all pretty horrendous. There was rain all night and thunder. Mind you, it is July, British summer, July. What do we expect, really? So we're now hoping that it's not going to rain today. But this is Butlins, Bognor Regis, in midsummer. Absolutely wonderful. Looking forward to Friday. That's when we go home. After all that dreadful weather, the sun's out. Seagulls are mad here. They're all balmy. We're right on the seafront, but the sun's shining. It's a beautiful day after all that rain. My plan is at some stage to have a brisk walk along the seafront so I can get some steps up on my watch thing, whatever it's called. The sun's hot, and yet we've got black clouds everywhere. I can see the sea from here. It looks grey and uninviting. These seagulls scream all night. Right, here comes the boy. So I better switch off for now. Listen to him. I'm now on the beach at Bognor. Seagulls everywhere and an aeroplane. But the sea is very calm. It's lovely. The seagulls have been screaming all night. I don't mind the seagulls, but I just wish they'd clear off somewhere else. I don't know what that noise is. I think it's a boat, not an aeroplane. So this is it, Bognor Regis seafront, West Sussex. Hardly any people about. What's the time? Where are we? About 8:30. It's not at all cold. The sun was hot earlier, but seems to have gone in. Let's walk a little further along here. Just a few people about. Can't see France. Perfectly clear. See the horizon. I see no ships. Oh, hang on, here come the seagulls again. They're swarming round me. I better stop recording for a minute. I'm getting further away from Butlins now, so I can't hear all the noise of the arcades and people screaming and shouting and the dreadful music. I can see Butlins in the distance. I'm heading east and I can see Ferring village, which is not far from where we live. Just see it across the bay there. The sea is incredibly calm. Just a few breakers on the shoreline itself. But it's a mill pond, as they say. It looks like a mill pond. A slight breeze, which is very warm. Blue sky, a little bit hazy. I don't particularly like Bognor. There again, I don't particularly like anywhere. I like the woods. There's a park here I'm looking at to the north of me. I might go and have a wander there in a minute. There are some trees which look quite nice. I suppose the sound of the sea is quite relaxing in a way. I can't see any ships. Oh yes, I can. Yeah, there's a couple of big tankers out there in the distance. It's a little bit hazy. And there's a buoy out there. Not as in a human buoy, as in a floaty buoy. Can't see the Isle of Wight. I can see Selsey, is it, that sticks out? But I can't see the island from here, which is a shame. I think I told you we had the choice of Butlins, Bognor, or the Isle of Wight for the week. And our grandson chose Butlins. Not to worry, the holiday's all about him. They've all gone swimming, by the way. I can't swim, I don't want to swim, I don't like swimming pools, I don't like the sea, I don't like anything. But I do like standing here looking out to the horizon. I just don't want to go in the sea. Or on it, come to that, but I am, aren't I? In September I'm going on the Waverley steam paddle thing, the paddle steamer. We're leaving Shoreham. We're going round the Isle of Wight and then back to Shoreham. It's going to be a long day. Hopefully I won't get seasick. I'm still on the seafront, but I'm looking at Environmental Agency Felpham Pumping Station. I think it's a sewerage pumping plant. There goes a runner. When people pass me, just in case they talk to me, I look the other way and pretend I haven't noticed them. There's a river, or a very large stream. What stream is that? I wonder what that's called. I should have to look that up on the map. Here comes a chap on a bike. I'll pretend I haven't seen him. He's talking to himself, as you do. I don't know what stream or river, it's a small river this is. Still hear the sea from here. What's this? Caution. Keep away from rocks. Deep. What's that say? Deep voids? Deep voids? Oh, okay. Right, I'm now at Felpham. Look it up on the map. Felpham. Felpham, West Sussex. This is where we come to that wonderful, the Fox, the wonderful pub, the Fox Inn. That's where we go for Sunday lunch when we're here. At one of these dreadful music weekends, which I'm not doing anymore. There's a little caravan site here. What's this? TS, Sir Alec Rose. Some kind of clubhouse. It's very quiet. Of course it would be, it's Wednesday, isn't it? It's now gone 9 o'clock, people are all at work. The tide's right in, by the way, high tide. I've only walked half a mile so far. I don't want to walk too far, in case my knee gives way. Then I'll have to be carried back to Butlins. Perish the thought. There are some kind of sheds here, well, they're chalets that people must live in. There's the Haven, Silver Spray. A lady just walked past. The Haven, yes, what's that one? Peggotty. They're not much more than sheds actually on stilts. But they're obviously where people live, like a little shanty town. Looks quite nice. I don't think I'd want to live there, but looks quite nice. Not very nice in the winter though, I wouldn't have thought. Living anywhere on the seafront in the winter, I think must be pretty awful. We have walked along here in February to the pub, which is not a nice month to go to Butlins at all. Presumably people live in these. Oh, the door's open there. Plenty of cars parked outside. Merry Moments. That's a good name for one, isn't it? Merry Moments. And there's more people. I might start walking back actually. There's more people around. I can see Butlins in the distance now. That's the best place for Butlins to be, in the distance from where I am. I've just had a look on the map. I can't find what this river is that ends here at the pumping station. It obviously goes out to sea, because on the seafront here, the other side of the promenade, there are sort of concrete blocks and hatches. So, what's it called? A sluice or something? But on the map I can see, oh, there's a duck on the river. Presumably it's fairly clean in that case, not polluted. There goes a young lady running. That's what I should be doing, but my knee would give way, my back would hurt, and I'd probably fall over and break my hip. So we'll give that a miss. I'm intrigued now. What river is this? Why doesn't it say somewhere what it is? I used to come to Butlins when I was a child, which was quite nice. It's different when you're sort of 8, 9, 10 years old, isn't it? All the noise and music and stuff, it's all good fun. But as the decades pass, it just gives you a headache. Happy days. Quite a few people walking past me now. I'm doing my best to ignore them. It's not that I'm unsociable, it's just that I'm unsociable. Right, they've all gone. I'll walk on now. The sun's getting warmer as it rises. It's rather nice. Nice to escape Butlin. So we're Wednesday. I'm home Friday morning, which is rather good. Looking forward to that. And I've got to paint the kitchen ceiling. So that should be fun. The seafront seems to be deserted now, which is nice. Just walking back towards Butlins. I've got to get into some walking. What are you doing while I'm doing this? Wherever you are in the world, what are you up to? Some of you are at work. Some of you, of course, are asleep in bed, middle of the night. Here comes a bicycle. I think I'll sit on this bench for a minute and people watch. I mustn't say derogatory things about people. I mustn't be rude. It's tempting though. The people I'm a bit out of breath actually. I've been walking briskly. Oh goodness, here comes a dog now. The people at Butlins, it's all very nice, but perhaps I better not say anything. I just wonder why so many of them are large, put it that way. I'm doing my best to lose weight. I had a bit of pizza and a salad last night, which was nice. A lot of dogs walking past now. And there were some people eating huge amounts. Quite an attractive young lady just walked past with two little dogs. Ah, that improved the view a little bit. Oh, there goes a car. Seems to be a road behind me. Can't escape, can you? Can't escape man-made noises. Planes, cars, boats, people. Oh, we saw an animal thing. Animals, was it dinosaurs versus animals or something? Really good show. It was lovely. Three people doing it, and they talked about dinosaurs and animals. Quite amazing. A lot of facts that they were telling us. I forget them now, of course. I can't remember anything. I'm surprised I can remember. I went to the show the other day. More cars. Another young lady. That's quite nice sitting here looking at the the sea. Happy days. Yes, it was interesting, the show about dinosaurs and various animals. I wish these people wouldn't keep running past me. They make me feel guilty for sitting here. That's it, they've all gone now. A bit of peace for 5 minutes, hopefully. Yes, very interesting about the dinosaurs. I would love to go back to the Jurassic era? I wonder what this seafront was like here in Bognor. Well, before it was Bognor. Millions of years ago, it wasn't anything, was it? No people. The sea would have looked the same. The landscape, completely different. Oh, a young lady smiled at me. Things are looking up. No, seriously, it would be interesting to come back here, or go back here, a few million... Listen to that noise, a few million years without cars and people. Yes, the sea would have looked the same. Dinosaurs roaming around the place. They didn't all eat meat, did they? So I would have been safe with the veggie ones. They wouldn't have eaten me. Now, what's that noise? Can you hear that? It's some sort of game. I mean, I'm on the seafront trying to relax and, what is the point? Can you hear that? Anyway, there we are. Here comes the train thing. It's petrol-driven engine thing. Blowing his whistle. Pulling some trucks. Oh, there are people on board. Right, I'm going to get away from this dreadful video game noise or whatever it is. I've walked just over a mile now. Wanted to do 2 or 3 miles, but I might do yet. I might carry on. Someone just walked past me smoking, and it was cannabis. I do recognise the smell. It's quite a nice smell, actually, cannabis. A bit early in the morning to do that, isn't it? I would have thought. Perhaps not. Someone walking past chatting on their mobile phone. They're probably thinking, well, who am I chatting to? Talking into my furry microphone. Not much of a wind, bit of a breeze, so it's best to have the furry thing on. There's a chap down there doing exercises. He's jumping up and down. He's doing press-ups. There goes a bike. He's going mad over there on his own. Jumping around. Leapfrogging about the place. Oh, here come some people. They're bound to say good morning, so I better pretend I haven't seen them. Oh, guess where I am? Back in Butlins. Presumably the seagulls gather here for food. Dreadful noise. I'm sitting at this sort of picnic place, a picnic bench, and on the ground I'm surrounded by cigarette ends. There are literally hundreds of cigarette ends. There is no quiet place. There's no quiet place in Bognor with the seagulls. Anyway, I did about a mile and a half, so that'll do for now. Perhaps have another walk later. Well, you wouldn't believe it. I'm now sitting in our lounge back at the hotel. Listen to that. That goes on all night long, screaming, shouting in the sky. I don't know what's wrong with seagulls, why they do this. I don't think they ever sleep. I've heard them at 2, 3, 4 in the morning when I'm awake at 4:30. I was up very early today, shower at 5 o'clock, cup of tea, nice. Of course, if we shut the windows, it's too hot. So you've got a noise or heat. You can have the noise and keep cool, or shut the windows, no noise. Well, no noise, you can still hear them. So there we are, nice walk along Bognor seafront, which was rather good. Pleased I did that. I shall now wait for the others to get back from swimming and see what excitement is in store for today. Talking of cannabis, I smoked for 42 years. Well, no, not cannabis. I didn't smoke cannabis for 42 years. If I'd done that, I don't think I'd be here now. I'm people watching from our lounge window. I'm not going to comment. I'll probably get arrested if I comment. So yes, 42 years of smoking, and I got away with it actually. Some people have, emphysema and all sorts of dreadful lung diseases people get. And after 42 years of smoking quite heavily, to be honest, I got away with it. I'm really lucky. I get a little bit out of breath now and then, but I think that's because I'm a couple of stone overweight rather than the effects of all those years smoking. I remember the day I stopped smoking. It was, when was it? 16 years ago, 3rd of November, 2008. I remember the day. That was the day I didn't have a cigarette. And I'd been on tablets. I'd gone to the doctor, actually. I don't know why I'm telling you this, just in case you smoke. You might want to give up. Go and ask for Champix. That's what it's called, Champix. These tablets. What it is, you start taking the tablets for a fortnight. Okay, 2 weeks of the tablets. And then you stop smoking. You just decide, right, as from tomorrow, mine was the 3rd of November, 2008. There goes an aeroplane. I'm not going to smoke. And I woke up on that day thinking, cup of tea, do I have a cigarette? And I didn't want one, which was strange, the most peculiar feeling. I didn't want a cigarette. And I remember getting halfway through the morning and thinking, I still don't want a cigarette. And that went on. Day 2, day 3, day 4, month 2, month 6. I got to a year. And I didn't want a cigarette. And, I've never had one since. I think I could probably very easily go back to it. I think once you've smoked, the nurse actually at the doctor's surgery that was helping me, I had to go there every fortnight or so and blow into this machine to see whether I could, lung capacity, stuff like that. And she also measured carbon dioxide, which went down to 0. Straight away, basically, as soon as I stopped smoking. Within a day or two, it was 0, the carbon monoxide. And she said to me, don't forget, you're not a non-smoker. You're always an ex-smoker. That stuck in my mind. And she said, you will find it very easy to go back, even in decades to come. And she was right, I'm sure, mind you, with the price of them. What are they now, heading for £15? More than £15 for a packet of 20. Stone the fags. That's a lot of money, isn't it? Considering some days I smoked 40 a day. £30 a day. That's more than a lot of people's mortgage. £30 a day. I don't know. Dreadful habit. Anyway, I kicked it. But it would be quite easy to go back. The seagulls are still going. I'm about to make myself a coffee. A cup of coffee, which will be nice. Still waiting for the others to come back from swimming. There's young Trisha, daughter number 2, and grandson, what's he, 8? He's 8 years old. Oh, by the way, we went to a magic show last night, which was quite good. Huge stage, and these two, they're Joss and Ross or something, these two lads. Amazing. We were right at the front, looking just onto the stage, and I watched carefully to see how these tricks were done. This chap he lay down in this box and cut the box in half and wheeled the two halves away. There was no curtain down the front. How did he do it? He couldn't have fitted in half of the box. How did they do that? And there were several other tricks. I was impressed. I have to say I was really impressed. Several other tricks they did. They were only, meters in front of where we were. So I was trying to catch them out. I was hoping to say to Tricia, oh, look, that's how they've done it. Look, you can see that there. I couldn't work out any of it. They were really good, professional. So that was good fun. I thought I'd better say one or two things that are positive about Butlins. That was good. The animal and dinosaur thing was good. I think that's about all that is good. No, it's not. I'm sure it's not Butlins that's bad. It's just me that is easily disgruntled. No, I'm not easily disgruntled. It's not my thing. We've come here for the grandson. That's what it's all about. My parents used to bring me here on a day trip when I was young. There was a lovely boating lake, rowing boats. We went out on that. I remember that. And there were sand pits for the children. It was more... There were fruit machines, the one-armed bandits. They did have some of those around. But now they've got massive arcades full of noise, electronics and noise, screaming kids, money paying out, all this noise. I suppose if I was 10 years old, I'd love it. I'm a little bit older than 10. It's for the children, isn't it? All this here at Butlins is for the children. The music weekends are just dreadful. Absolutely dreadful. I won't go on about that. Here we go. The seagulls are taking off again. Okay, time for a cup of coffee. What are you doing? Don't forget to email me. Rants@protonmail.com. I'm doing most of the recording for Sunday. Well, not most of it. I'm doing a lot of it on this little recorder while I'm at Butlins because I'll only have Saturday to make the hour-long recording. So I thought I'd get some of it done here. Don't forget to look at the website. If you want to have... Oh dear. If you want to see some photos of Butlins to see what I have to endure. No, it's not that bad. Then look on the website, raiserants.info. raiserants.info. Have a look on the website, on the photos page. And I'll put a few... I'm not going to bombard you with photos, but I'll put a few pictures up on there. Okay, time for a cup of coffee. I shall be back shortly. Stop calling me shortly. Oh, there's something else we did yesterday. That was bowling. 10-pin bowling. I haven't been bowling since I was in my teens in the 1960s. And that's quite a long time ago. And I won. Out of all four of us, I actually won. I can't believe it. I got a strike. One strike. It was good fun. I didn't think that I'd be able to do it because of my back, but I did. It was fine. So we might have another go at that, actually. I rather like the idea of bowling. I wouldn't mind bowling on the green, got the grass, where you've got the bowls and the jack, the little white ball that you have to get close to or actually hit. I wouldn't mind doing that. But the trouble is they're all old people. With all due respect to old people. Actually, I don't think they are all old. There are some youngsters. What's that screaming? Can you hear that? What is going on? Yes, anyway, moving on swiftly. See if I can shut the window. Oh, peace and quiet. No seagulls. No screaming. Just hot. It really is warming up now. I'm looking at the sky, absolutely clear blue sky. Beautiful day. Might be an idea to have another look down the seafront. I don't know whether there's sand here on the beach at Bognor. It was high tide when I walked along there earlier, but of course the tide's probably gone out by now. Perhaps we'll have a look, see what the others say when they get back. But just going back to bowling, I wouldn't mind that on a bowling green. The only thing is, I get the idea that they're all rather... Now, what's the word I'm looking for without being rude to people? It's all a little bit clubby, isn't it? A bit niche. I'd have to join a team and stuff like that, and I probably wouldn't fit in. Well, you know me. I wouldn't fit in. I'm a rebel. Isn't that right, Amy, over there in Seattle? I'm a bit of a rebel. I don't think I'd fit in well with a team. I like to work alone. So this episode is all about timeline, isn't it? The timeline of Britain, the 50s, 60s, 70s. So I shouldn't really be talking about dinosaurs hundreds of millions of years ago. It's a timeline still, of course, but that's not what this episode is supposed to be about. If ever any of you are down this way in West Sussex, if you're down near Bognor, have a look, because Bognor itself, I don't like it, but don't take any notice of me. It's a lovely town. There's all sorts of things on the seafront. There's a pier. There are some lovely pubs along the seafront. Fish and chips. Got to have fish and chips, haven't you, on an English seafront? Struth. So fish and chips. There's crazy golf or whatever it's called. All sorts of things for the kids. And the beach, which children like, of course. I must find out whether there's sand down there or not. I'll go and have a look when the tide's out. So yes, do have a look at Bognor. Ignore my dreadful comments about the place. But as you know, I have dreadful comments about it wherever I go. Except for the wetlands at Arundel. I like that. Swanboard Lake at Arundel. Amberley Museum. Pulborough Brooks. Went there recently, didn't I? Well, have to get up there again. Don't worry, I won't bombard you with recordings of my wandering around Pulborough Brooks, muttering about birds that I don't know what they are. And boring you all to bits, as no doubt this is by now. On this next clip, the wind really did get up and it was blowing all over the place, so the audio isn't too good at all. Sorry about that. What is the point of having a weather forecast? I'll come down to the beach. There's a wind. I hope the microphone's okay with the furry thing on it. Dreadful wind. The sea's rough. No sun at all. They've just said on the telly, hope this wind's all right, that today, the forecast today, 26 degrees, blazing sun, clear sky. Oh, look at it, the wind's not warm at all. What is the point in having a weather forecast? Absolute rubbish weather forecast. I mean, it is pleasant, the wind isn't cold. It's just that everyone was preparing for a red hot day. I even had my shorts ready. I'm not putting those on. Stick to my jeans. Anyway, there we are. I shall do my morning walk. Daughter number 2 has gone off in the other direction. She's doing something daft like a 10k run. Mind you, she's half my age. She should be able to do a 10k run while I do my 1 mile stroll and sit down every now and then for a rest. Do you remember yesterday I said about this sort of shanty town thing with the old sheds? I'm looking at one of them, no, 2 of them. They're old railway carriages. I hadn't realised they're old railway carriages, all painted white. There's all the windows and the doors. That's quite good. I like that. Imagine living in a railway carriage down on the beach. That's different. The next clip is pretty bad audio. It's the wind. I've got the little furry thing on the microphone, but the wind was very strong, so just apologies for the quality of this next clip. I've come a bit further than yesterday. Right down by the sea now. Morning. Young lady just said good morning to me as she ran past. In fact, she said good morning earlier as she went the other way. I put these young ladies off their stride, I think. One as good looking as me wandering around the seafront at this time of the day. They must look at my physique and think, now there's a fit young man. Right, just woken up from my dream. Can you hear the sea? The tide's in. I think, how far have I come? Let's have a look. Half a mile. I think I might start heading back in a minute. Nice to smell the sea air. Salty. Now what's down here? We have come this way before to the pub. I think the pub is about another mile away. Oh no, I'm back on the road. There's a dust cart there. Let's go back this way. The wind is behind me now, so it shouldn't affect the microphone so much. I'm the only one on the seafront on the promenade who's walking. Everyone else is running. Oh, there's a girl over there in the park. She's doing press-ups. Everyone's exercising and there's me strolling along. Well, it's better than nothing, isn't it? It's See, had I started this when I was young and kept it up, I'd probably be able to jog along now, but no, she's dancing. I've got to stop and watch this. Oh, she's running backwards. That's interesting. Someone just went past on a bicycle with a cigarette, so I don't feel so bad now. At least I'm walking and not smoking. She's dancing around the field. Good on her, why not? I think that's good. Trisha's gone swimming with the grandson. Daughter number 2's running. At least I'm out walking, so it's better than nothing. There's some lovely wild flowers over there. That's nice to see. Right on the seafront. Butlins is getting closer. We're home tomorrow, Friday, so I shall finish the rest of the podcast when I'm home. Away from the seagulls. Look at them. What is the matter with you guys? Why are you screaming? Happy days. Well, I've done the mile. I know it's only a mile. I expect some of you are laughing at that. Here comes the train. I should have got the train, I think. Here he goes. He takes cards or cash. No, I'd rather walk. I was just thinking the other day, was it Sunday I mentioned people not going to the gym when I was young because the work they did, they had a lot of exercise. Mum's at home doing all the work. Dad's out doing physical work. I don't remember people running along the seafront. Sometimes as a kid, I'd go down to the beach early morning, or we would as a family in the summer. People were walking dogs, yes. There's an aeroplane. But I don't remember people jogging. Now, when did jogging become a thing? There goes someone now jogging with a backpack, probably full of bricks for the extra weight. People do that, don't they? There are some families now coming to the beach. They probably come from up north somewhere. Oh, let's have a week at Butlins. Down on the south coast, lovely. It's summertime. And now look, someone's thrown cans, beer cans, bottles, rubbish everywhere. Look at it down here. All sorts of rubbish. Someone's chucked a nappy, a disposable nappy down there. What's wrong with people? Don't care anymore, do they? That wouldn't have happened. When I was a boy, that wouldn't have happened. No ships today. I'm looking right the way along the horizon. No ships at all. Still can't see the Isle of Wight. Well, I wouldn't today. It's hazy. I think it's time to head back for a cup of coffee. I've done my mile, so quite pleased with that. I shall leave you in peace. So that was my trip to Bognor Butlins. I tell you what I did. I attempted another mile walk. Well, I say attempted, I did complete it, but halfway back at the kind of 3/4 mile level, my right calf, something happened. I don't know what it was. I was only walking. The muscle did something. I don't know whether I sprained it, tore it, ripped it, stretched it. I could barely walk the rest of the way back to the hotel thing. It was awful. And then for the rest of the day, I could barely walk. Everyone's going off. I said to them, just walk ahead, I'll catch you up. I was really limping and struggling. Isn't it marvellous? I try to get some exercise at last. Let's start walking a mile a day. Good. Day 1, fine. Day 2, fine. Day 3, wreck my leg. What's the point? Years ago, I started walking. I was doing really well. I've been walking for 6 months. I got up to 3 miles every morning. Left here at 7 in the morning, 3-mile walk. Then my knee gave up. That was that. I don't know what it was. I went to the doctor and I don't know what he said it was. Was it osteoarthritis or some such stuff? I don't know. All I do know is that stopped my morning walks and I was doing really well. But not to worry, that's how it goes, isn't it? Shall I tell you about the food at Butlins? Shall I tell you about that? Oh, one thing before I tell you. We got talking to some people. Well, I didn't. Number 2 daughter did. You know me, I don't talk to people. And she was chatting to this lady, and the lady said, we've come over from Ireland, the Republic of Ireland. And I'm standing there listening to this conversation, and I'm thinking, You've come from Ireland, the lovely Republic of Ireland. I've never been there, but it's a lovely place apparently. To Bognor. Is that a good, is that a good idea? You've come all this way and you go to Butlins. There are lovely places around the UK. Why? Anyway, there we are, whatever. That's their choice. The food. One place we went into, veggie burger and chips for me. As you know, I don't like meat. I don't like being labelled as a vegetarian. I just don't like meat. Why? It doesn't matter. We won't go into that. I don't like it. My brother-in-law doesn't like pears. I think pears, apples, lovely fruit. He likes apples, but not pears. He calls pears the fruit of Satan. Now, you might think, well, that's strange. He doesn't like pears. They're lovely. And you might think about me. He doesn't like meat. It's lovely. So we won't go into all that nonsense. I don't like meat, end of. So I went into this place, veggie burger and chips. I don't know what they call a veggie burger. It was some cardboard thing that tasted absolutely disgusting. Oh, anyway, I didn't eat that. No wonder I've lost a few pounds. I've been trying to, lose some weight. Another place we went to. They did chicken and everything. Chicken and this, chicken and that. Chicken legs, chicken wings, chicken tails, chicken feet. I don't like chicken. I don't like the taste of it. So I had this burger thing. This corn, whatever it was. I tried one taste of that. It tastes of chicken. Well, I don't like the taste of chicken, so I left that. But I thought, it's okay, not too bad. I've got some chips and I've got some garlic bread. I do like garlic bread. The garlic bread I was expecting to be on the plate. You know, the French sticks, the sort of long baguette type loaf things, cut up and soaked in sort of garlic stuff. That's what I call garlic bread. I had 2 oval shaped pieces of cardboard that didn't taste of anything. Trish said, let me try. It's got to be garlic. She tasted it and she said, well, there's no garlic there. I can't taste garlic. It's like cardboard. So I gave up with that. I know it's me. I know I'm fussy with food. Well, I'm not fussy. I just don't like certain things. That river, by the way, I talked about at the Felpham pumping station. It's the Aldingbourne Rife. Look up Aldingbourne. Well, just look up Felpham on the map. Or don't bother. That's probably the best thing. Don't bother. Aldingbourne Rife. There's also the Ferring Rife, I think they call it. It's a little stream that goes through Ferring. I must look up the word rife to see exactly what it means. Oh, we were having our lunch. Trish made sandwiches, so I knew it was all right. It wasn't sort of disgusting stuff that other people have made, and I don't know what's in it. She made sandwiches, and we're having our lunch. You can hear cars going by because I've got the window open. It's hot. And grandson, he just went off with his mum to get a drink or something, and on our picnic table where we were sitting, he left his sandwich. Seagulls everywhere. One flew down, swooped over my head, grabbed his sandwich and was off in a split second. Trish was saying, what was that? I said, that's his lunch. It's just, look, it's over there. This seagull was sitting on a fence post eating his sandwich. So after that, they're all flocking round us. After that, I put my head down and quickly finished my sandwich before they could grab it. They can be dangerous. They really can, these seagulls. I should have called this episode My Week at Butlins, not Timeline Britain. But not to worry, I hope I haven't bored you too much with Butlins and Bognor and all that. Email here from Ray. Thanks, Ray, for the link to the video. Old cars and the way the streets were back then. I love all that. I really do love looking at these videos from the 50s and 60s and even earlier than that. You can look at the streets, the cars, the way things were then. Thanks for that, Ray. And thanks to everyone else that's emailed me. I won't read out all of them. If you want to contact me, raise rants at protonmail.com. Have a look on the website. I'm going to put some pictures on there of my trip to Bognor so you can see what that was like. That's raiserants.info. Just go to the photos page and you'll see that. It is nice to be home. I have to say it's nice to be home. The weather now, it's hot. I think we got rain and thunder on the way. Oh, by the way, we've got runner beans, loads of them. As soon as we got back, I went out into the garden and we've got masses of runner beans. Fantastic. Everything's gone mad while we've been away. Some of the tomatoes are turning red, so that'll be nice. I do like tomatoes. Peas, we've got more peas coming. I thought they'd all finished. So everything's really gone mad. I must mow the lawn before the rain comes. If you want more info about timeline, what happened when and the rest of it, let me know. and we'll chat a bit more about that next Sunday. I think this episode's been taken up with my strolling along Bognor seafront and damaging my leg, which seems to be improving now. I had to go on Trisha's treadmill earlier and I don't like it. I can't get on with that at all. She loves it. I can't get on with that. I don't think that's doing my leg any good, so I shall just go for gentle walks around the roads. That'll be nice. It's not easy for me to know what it is that people want, especially if you live outside Britain. America, Australia, Spain, all around the world, South America. Got listeners everywhere, which is really good. Wherever you are, I'm pleased to have you with me on these episodes. But I'm not too sure what you want to hear. You might be thinking, I wanted to hear more about the timeline. I wanted to hear what happened in the 60s and 70s. I'm interested in that. And there's me saying, well, that's boring. Not doing any more of that. Let me know. As I keep saying, let me know. raiserants@protonmail.com. Thinking about it, you might be thinking, I don't want to hear what your lunch was like when you went to Bognor last week. I'm not interested in your veggie burger and chips. It's all good, clean fun, isn't it? That's what it's all about. Good, clean fun. Trisha's just bought me up a cup of coffee, so I'm going to have that. I've got a few things to do. Sorry if I was a bit late replying to emails during the week, but the internet connection where I was, that was something else to moan about. Internet connection was useless. Slow as our tortoise. No, Gary the tortoise is faster than their internet. I don't know why places can't have decent internet. Why is it? Wherever you go, everyone, wherever you go, you need the internet. You've got your phones, your iPads and your this pads and your other pads. You need the internet. I don't know why it can't be decent. Oh, let's not worry about the internet. Okay, that'll do for now. Looks like our autumn's arrived, which is good. It's a lot cooler. I'm going to go and mow the lawn, which will be nice. That's therapeutic, isn't it? Actually, mother-in-law's just arrived, so I must go and show my face. I hope you've enjoyed the episode. I really enjoyed walking along Bognor seafront, just on my own. It was really nice, just listening to the sea, not listening to the seagulls, but it was really nice. Thank you for putting up with my outside broadcast. As usual, be good. If you're bad, don't get caught. Look after yourselves, and I will see you on Wednesday with another midweek message. Thanks for listening. Really enjoyed your company. Take care. Look after yourselves. Bye-bye for now.